Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you're tuning in today. Thanks for joining. This is going to be a gem feature, I believe the fourth one since we started. And the stone that wanted to come through today is Smokey Quartz. Now, I don't have a ton of Smokey Quartz myself, but I do have a number of these little stones. It has a really nice flat polish on the one side, and then it's left almost rough on the back side. I'm sure that process has a name, but then these are set with a hematite stand. And the other ones I have are just a little medium size, easy to carry size. You can see how there are little bits of how quartz usually has those cloudy, suspended image inducing little character bits. And then on this piece, I think if I can get it in the camera there's a dark section here. I don't know if you'll really get a look at that, but there you have it. That's the Smokey Quartz in bulk. And when I was looking into that, looking for my stones, the Moonstone wanted to come out, so I'll give you a quick look at that. Now, generally, I consider Moonstone that I find around my area to generally come in more of a white, cloudy white, creamy color, sometimes more clear. But I've also got some various ones that have more of the bluish tint, which to me looks almost a little bit more gray. And some of these pieces are also showing hues of like a bit of an orange apricot type of sheen to them. So that's the general moonstone. And then I also have a black moonstone here, which is absolutely gorgeous in the sphere formation. Beautiful. And lastly, too, I have a number of rainbow moonstones here. Now, these are really pretty. To me, it looks a little bit like the scolecite, you know, where it has, if you're familiar, the black inclusions here. And if you look at these, you'll often see the sheen of a rainbow, so that's where it gets its name, obviously, but also whitish with the rainbow and the black and gray hues into that one. So I'll just give you the little highlight reel. First, I want to talk about the Smokey Quartz. So Smokey Quartz is mostly clear when it's in its natural form, and you can also find this man-altered, I can't remember the name, irradiated, where then they heat treat it by radiation and it becomes much darker, almost opaque. So this is a stone of transmutation, of protection, but also as it's somewhat clear, it's also a stone of clarity and works also with the crown chakra. But being in its smoky form of quartz, it's very closely related to transmutation of earthly energies. So I'll just read you just a couple of things here. Strong link with the earth and the base chakras. And the stones that have been coming through the last few days seem to all have a bit of that transmutation of the old, stepping into the new, processing any stress and upheaval, and being able to protectively assist us in kind of mediating our environmental stresses and working with the energies that arise from externally as well. So, concern for the ecological solutions that we can come up with, stone of working through difficult times with equanimity, works also with geopathic stress and electromagnetic smog. elimination, detoxification on all levels, so self and environment here. Brings a positive vibration to fill the space. So as it's transmuting, it's also assisting in raising the vibration at the same time. It can be used to protect the earth chakra below the feet. So this is our connection to body in form, and it said something about that even in here. Alleviating fears and depressions, bringing an emotional calm, alleviates any suicidal tendencies or ambivalence about being incarnated. So this aids with the acceptance of the physical body and the sexual nature, enhancing virility, cleansing the base chakra so that passion can flow naturally. And just as the reminder, I always consider that passion as really our connection to spirit, to our spiritual nature. And the use of that passion has been so contorted and modeled and normalized in its different side type expressions instead of in the spiritual pursuit of the highest. People are out here engaging in the shadow, and I'm not trying to judge that. To certain extents, that's absolutely part of what we're here to do. And so this is why part of this is suggested here as something that we need to work on, is connecting with the more primal nature and being able to apply it in healthy, productive ways instead of repressing and then having it come out in inappropriate ways. So when it comes into contact with any negative emotions, lower vibrational energies gently dissolves these, and mentally promotes positive pragmatic thought, and can also be used in scrying, as we saw all of those different formations inside. Any of the stones that you have that have some depth to them, or even surface images, can show out like an ink blot type of a thing, Rorschach. Facilitates moving between alpha and beta states of mind, clearing the mind for meditation, and also works on the dream level. And physically, it says because it's often naturally irradiated, it's excellent for treating radiation related illness or even working with those dealing with chemotherapy. Yeah, let's leave that one there. You can look up more on that yourself. I mean, the internet is free and easy to access. So it also, lastly, works with ailments related to abdomen, hips, legs, and relieves pain, including headaches, and very beneficial for reproductive and muscular things. So the Moonstone in the book here that I'm using, I didn't give credit today yet. I'm just using the Crystal Bible. It's just one of many different resources out there. I really like this one. I really like Crystal Vaults online. They do a great, thorough job. So Moonstone, obviously by its name, connects us with the lunar energies and with the divine feminine's ebb and flow. And also in that way, I connect that with Mother Earth as well, because there's this dance between the luminaries. The sun is pretty far out there, but the moon is the closest thing to us. And so they're calling this a stone of new beginnings. And I think that is due to the cyclical nature of the moon and how it goes through its many phases, and related to femininity in that way. As many of you know, just as the refresher, it's just like the phases of the moon relating to the menstrual cycle. But it also is very beneficial for men who are looking to connect with a deeper sense of their own feminine nature. And I'm not talking about becoming effeminate, for any that are nervous about all all of that business, but it's part of our nature to learn how to receive, how to serve, how to nourish, how to care and caretake, and to be a steward. And to manifest, we must receive. To grow, we must receive. So, uh, moving forward here, okay, making the conscious and it says it makes conscious the unconscious and promotes intuition and empathy, which are definitely related to the moon. And so, also, sidebar, it's also very good stone to work with if you have a prominent moon placement. I mean, for anybody really, but also Pisces and Cancer are very related to more the moon energy too. Um, Enhances those psychic abilities, connects us with our clairvoyance. Uh, Sometimes it can encourage our illusions and lend us to a little bit of wishful thinking, but it does soothe out any emotional instability, erratic feelings that come up. So anything that's triggering you. Um, and yes, we talked about it being helpful to connect with the feminine no matter our gender. And it says here it's the perfect antidote for the excessively macho man or the aggressively or overly aggressive female. And I mean, many of us wouldn't uh, consider ourselves overly aggressive females or the macho man. We consider ourselves to be, just on the spectrum of expression of our nature, right? And our needs and whatever. But yesterday, I was reading just a little bit more in this Eastern Body, Western Mind, which came out yesterday in the Daily Dharma when I looked for a passage. And I took a guidance page from that myself. And it was talking about the Challenger Defender. And it talks about how that is a psychological navigation that becomes evidenced by our posing, our posture, and the way that our chakra systems have been, um, how they've been navigated. I just want to leave that there just a little bit. And it's often we'll see people putting their fist on their waist and standing with legs just a little bit wider than shoulder perhaps, and might even have a tilt of the head or an aloof stance or a don't F with me type of a look every once in a while. And also when we're trying to take in information, we might stand in that way. And we can have multiple different statures that come through in evidence different things that we've got going on. But in that pose, it's talking about how that individual might be predominantly led by solar plexus issues, such as having had boundaries crossed previously, or having felt as though others are trying to take one's power or to stifle the creativity, stifle the voice, put us in our place. Basically, there becomes this feeling of oppression, and then a challenger defender says, don't come F with me because, oh yeah, okay, in the pre-shuffle too. Sun Tzu said from The Art of War, the art of war teaches us to rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him, not on the chance of his attacking, but rather on the fact that we have made our position unassailable. And that's kind of what that's talking about. It's like through those coping and growth things that happen as the personality and the soul is developing incarnate, there becomes a lot of psychology, and the body, mind, and spirit are so irrevocably entangled. It's incredible. And these stones are working with those levels to help soothe out the overcompensations or the overjustifications or what we've overlooked in ourselves. not only wishful thinking, but also justifications and things that we needed to cope at one time that have perhaps gone unnoticed, but are ready to be released so that we can receive something anew and have a fresh new beginning. So, powerfully affects the female reproductive cycle, alleviating any menstrual related dis-ease or discomfort or tension. Also linked to the pineal gland, which is that in the brain, balancing the hormonal system, stabilizing fluid imbalances, attunes to the biorhythmic clock. So, if you're trying to work with mothering, parenting, working with children, perhaps even hyperactive children here. So also helps alleviate any degenerative conditions of skin, hair, eyes, fleshy organs such as liver and pancreas. Excellent for conception, pregnancy, childbirth, breastfeeding, and it was used as a powerful elixir for insomnia, and it can prevent sleepwalking. You don't say. All right. So those are the stones I have for you guys today. I do hope that you are interested in this new content I was inspired to create for you guys. So check them out when you get a chance, and let me know sometime what stones are your favorites. And if I have them, I'll definitely do a little feature on those for all of the rest of the folks out here. So check in with the Daily Dharma in a little bit, folks. It'll be uploading very soon. Thanks.